What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over ranking our top 10 tight ends right now in college football 25 Ultimate Team. And I do want to say the tight end position is a position that right now is absolutely stacked. So just know a lot of these top tight ends in the game, like the difference between, let's say, number 1 and number, let's say, 5, really isn't a whole ton. So just kind of realize that as we do dive into this. And if you are new to my channel and have not yet, make sure you guys do smash that subscribe button, as I really do appreciate all the recent support on the channel. Now we're going to start off at number 10, and as I do again, I like this card in Jack Velling. I do want to make that known that this card is a card that I really do like, and I hate playing against. 90 speed, 90 acceleration for the card. Does come with a 94 short route running, 87 mid, 85 change in direction. Catching the football, Jack Velling is going to be an absolute beast. 6'5", again, pretty good frame. Just overall a really solid card catching the football. Now, again, run blocking for Jack Velling is not his strength, but an 81 isn't bad. It's not the worst for the card. 6'5". Again, stat-wise, doesn't necessarily look that great. But when you play against Jack Velling, trust me when I tell you guys, this card is an absolute problem. He is so tough to defend against in this game. Jack Velling coming in at my number 10. At my number 9, plugging in an LTD here in a Theo Melon Orstrom, I do think is how you pronounce his name. 6'6", comes with a 91 speed, 93 acceleration. Route running is pretty solid. Run blocking only a 75, so that's obviously not great. But he's 6'6", and especially, at receiving the football, he is an absolute beast at that tight end position. One of the best receiving tight ends that we do have in this game. Again, run blocking, that is not going to be Theo's strength. So you got to know what you're wanting out of a tight end. And with Theo, you're getting a pass-catching tight end. One of the better pass-catching tight ends that we will talk about during this video. The thing is, though, we've got a lot of good pass-catching tight ends to get to on this list. At my number 8, we're plugging in Luke Lachey. Does have gold cutter, which is, a really good ability for the card. 91 speed, 94 acceleration, good short route runner, decent mid, deep route running, not great. 85 carrying, 80 run blocker. To me, very similar to Jack Velling. I just think Luke Lachey gives you a little bit more. Now, at the time I'm recording this video, Luke Lachey is actually the tight end that I'm currently running. I just haven't necessarily upgraded my tight end position. I did have, a really good tight end for a while before ultimately selling him. But I do like Luke Lachey. I think he is one of your best tight end options in the game right now in college football 25 Ultimate Team. And he is my current tight end on the game. So that should tell you what you do need to know. At my number 7, we're going to plug in Jack Endries from California here. 6'5", comes with a 91 speed, 95 acceleration, 95 mid route running, 93 short route running with 85 carrying. Another tight end on this game that is not going to be a good run blocker, 72 run blocking. So if you like to run the football, again, look elsewhere at the tight end position. But I like this tight end as far as a pass catching tight end. Think he's better than Theo. Think he's slightly better than Luke Lachey as well. And honestly, this card is relatively cheap. You look on Xbox right now, 90,000 coins for Jack is not bad whatsoever. Definitely a tight end that if you are looking for a vertical threat tight end, might be one of your better value tight ends in the entire game. Now, he's not the best value, which we'll get to here in a second, but Jack is an absolute beast on this game. The best value card is Kendall Carr. Now, to pick this card up, I honestly would recommend waiting until he does get slightly cheaper. But if you look at this card, I'm telling you right now, there's no need to get anybody else. And it's weird to even say that, but it's the truth. Whether you want to talk about the 93 speed, 90 acceleration first, or his great route running all across the board, especially the 90 deep route running, which is crazy. You could talk about the 80 or 93 change of direction. You could talk about good carrying, good juke move. The one thing this card's not going to do is run block. He can't run block whatsoever on this game. Everything else is incredible about this Kendall Carr card. I can't sit here and say too many negative things about it. To be honest, at a 92 overall, he is an absolute steal. And genuinely, when I say this, he might be one of the better value cards on this entire game. You're getting a card in Kendall Carr that's going to go out there and be one of the best tight ends of the game for the price he's going for, it does not get better than Kendall Carr. And again, since he is such a low overall, you might honestly be able to snipe this card for even cheaper. Right now on Xbox, he is holding pretty firm right at that 59,000 coins. But if one just popped up for 49,000 coins, and I'm not going to think twice, I'm going to pick up Kendall Carr at the time I am recording this video. Just because when I look at his stats, no other tight ends are even nearly as good of a ball carrier as Kendall Carr. So yes, I'm overhyping Kendall Carr, but no, I don't really care because the card is so good on this game. And again, you can buy him for relatively cheap at the time I'm recording this just because of his overall being so low. So just realize I really do like Kendall Carr on this game. Maybe your best value option on this list. Coming in at my number 5, cracking our top 5, I'm plugging in Trey McBride. When we're looking at ball carrier, Trey McBride is nearly just as good. And I right after I get done saying you're not going to find much better than Kendall Carr, Trey McBride is slightly better. 92 speed, 93 acceleration, good route running, decent ball carrying. One thing about it is Kendall Carr is going to be slightly faster. Trey McBride is probably just the slightly overall better tight end. You look at, even the ball carrier stats. One thing I don't like about this Trey McBride card is this change of direction. It's not very great. So like if you run, I think again, I don't know exactly how important that is, but if you run certain routes, Trey McBride might not be that great of a route runner. And I do think that is important to know. But Trey McBride for 100,000 coins is not a bad option whatsoever. Is definitely a guy that if you get, you can absolutely run and have a lot of success with. Coming in at my number 4, we got a different type of tight end here in Harold Fannin. Now, when I say a different type of tight end, no, I mean he is a different type of tight end, but I still overall like the card quite a bit. What do you want to talk about? The 91 speed, 91 acceleration, great route runner. The 95 short route running is crazy, but he has an 87 run block. So when I say it is a different type of tight end, just know I mean that he is a different type of tight end, but I like him. I like him a lot. 87 run block. So if you need a guy to, block in the run game, Harold Fannin Jr. should be the guy that you do pick up for your specific squad. Again, for me, I don't necessarily, I've got a decent run blocker in Luke Lachey, but you could also run like 2 tight end systems. So like if you are going to pass the ball, run a guy like Kendall Carr. If you want to run the football, plug in Harold Fannin for just extra run blocker for your specific squad. Just something to kind of think about, put in the back of your mind. Harold Fannin Jr. is one of the best run blocking tight ends that we do have ultimately in the game. Coming in at my number 3, plugging in Bauer Sharp, 93 speed, 92 acceleration, good route runner, not great route runner, but good. Comes in at 6'4", 82 run blocking is decent. And again, as a ball carrier, really solid. Good trucking, good change of direction. Just could be an absolute problem if you get him the ball in open space. And again, at 6'4", he is one of your better tight ends in the entire game. The problem is, when you're looking at Bauer Sharp, he has 250,000 coins. Now, he is an LTD, so again, could see his price stay pretty steady. But I'm a little nervous about buying LTDs right now, just for the sole fact of I think sooner rather than later, we are going to really start seeing, an overall bump. We're going to start seeing cards get cheaper and cheaper. So for Bauer Sharp, I don't think the card is horrible. I think the card is actually really good. Do you want to pay that premium price for him is really the question I would ask you. But I don't mind the card whatsoever. He is a top 3 tight end in the game. Coming in at my number 2, maybe the most commonly ran competitive type of tight end. So if you're running like a really good squad, one of the most common tight ends you're going to see is Vernon Davis. 93 speed, 94 acceleration, good route runner, especially 94 deep route running is crazy. 95 catching, great after the catch. Run blocking is only an 80 rated, but this card is just a stud. The problem is 413,000 coins is no cheap price. That is a premium price to pay for Vernon Davis. Yes, he is an absolute stud at that tight end position. Do I want to pay that price? Probably not, but again, he is an absolute beast in this game at that tight end position, and you're probably not going to find too much better than Vernon Davis at this tight end position. Now, one thing again, when we see an overall bump, you could see his price go down, and that is something that I am slightly worried about for Vernon Davis. That's why I don't want to spend the 413,000 coins on him. Coming in at my number 1, the most complete tight end in the game, in my opinion, is Kyle Pitts. Again, if you like a pure pass catcher, you could say Vernon Davis is better. But if you like a more complete option, I think it's Kyle Pitts. Let's start with the 85 run blocking. Does run block at an extremely high level. He's 6'6", 92 speed, 95 acceleration, 95 mid route runner. If you run more middle of the field routes compared to deep routes, again, Kyle Pitts is probably your better option. 86 change of direction. I just think when you're looking at complete tight ends in the game, Kyle Pitts is your most complete tight end in the game right now. Again, that's my personal opinion. If you're giving me one tight end that I can have to, let's say, compete in Gauntlet, I'm taking Kyle Pitts. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I do think he is the most complete tight end in the game right now in College Football 25 Ultimate Team. That's going to wrap it up for our top 10 tight ends. Told you at the start of the video, this tight end position is deep. To you, for me, I'm fine running Kendall Carr. And I've said this at the beginning of the video. I think he is nearly as good as Kyle Pitts, which is crazy. But as long as you're not looking for a run blocker, give me Kendall Carr every day of the week. That's going to wrap it up. Drop a like on the video, guys. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.